took the oh, I can turn the volume down. It's making noise on there. The speaker. Oh, that was telling her. There you go. Oh, you were making noise. He was up here doing something. Is it okay? Huh? Was it plugged in? What? Oh, Jesus. What? What happened to the cord that was over here? Huh? He done broke the thing. Boy! Yeah. Because there's something caught up in here. That's why it's playing like that. You're not sorry. I'm not sorry. Which means... okay. We you can maybe hear it all. Disconnect the speaker. Huh? You gotta disconnect the speaker. Because we have some extra ones, right? No, it's just gonna have to play until I can replace that cord. We had some extras. That's what I was saying. I gotta check. Those were There'll never be a love like this for sure. There she goes. But that was not a good look for you, Garcelle. So congratulations for she said she has new shows coming up. She's had new movies coming up. So I'm sure she's going to be hanging out a little bit on Lifetime.
Somebody airbrushed that picture because she got the double neck right about now.
You know what? I don't know what. I think they get some bad plastic surgery. Because you know what? Vivica was always nice looking in. She would have had the plastic surgery. Hey,
Ow.
Hey there, Lance. So thank you guys for TikTok. So Garcelle, congratulations. You know, I'm glad she's moving on because I stopped watching the Housewives of Beverly Hills a long time ago.
You stopped watching all of them.
I really have. Yeah. I think that's it's like a phase you go through with watching the Housewife franchise. I would say like something like Kevin Hart says, and I don't even repeat Kevin Hart. But there comes a time you get too old for certain things.
You age out of them.
There you go. You age out of them. And watching the Housewives franchise is one of those. I used to.
Right.
The Atlanta. Let me see the Atlanta Housewives. Oh, they just get up beyond. Oh, yeah. I stopped watching them a long time ago. The Beverly Hills Housewives. I never watched the Housewives of the Potomac. I used to watch New Jersey Housewives. But like I said again, to me, it's like you age out of certain stuff. So I've just aged out of it. So I don't watch it anymore. So, but anyway, congratulations to her. I'm glad. When she was on the, I think what they were trying to do when they brought her on was they always said the Housewives of Beverly Hills was too white. So then they added her in. They added Garcelle. I guess they added a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah, and I just thought it was just kind of like evident that she was the token black. So and then I think they bought in another one. So then they have another one on there. So then I forgot her name, but I think she's some kind of designer or model or something, retired model. But she's on there now, so she's the new token black. They're never gonna have more than two at a time on the franchise. But yeah, you age out of that, and I've aged out of that. So there you go. All right. So who is next?
Oh yeah, I forget. Pastor Stta, that's for Dr. Fight.
Oh yeah. But here we go. Let's see. Oh, and over the weekend, I think Richard Chamberlain. Who remembers Richard Chamberlain from the Thornbirds and from what's the other one? Oh, Soldier. It's not. What is it? Oh, I can't think of it.
Shotgun.
What? Shotgun. It's Shogun.
Shogun, shotgun. I saw part of it. So I was like, okay, I got rolled with one.
Yeah. So Richard Chamberlain, he was 90 years of age. He was 90 years old, and I can't believe that. But guys, you guys see the picture up here. This is one of my all-time favorite miniseries, and it won so many awards.
Today actually would have been his 91st birthday.
So he died a day before what would have been his 91st birthday. And I always thought that I got kind of a flavor. So he got kind of like he was always really cute.
She got a type.
You make it big. Yeah, he was always one of my favorites.
I've always said you have a type.
Look at that.
And that would be one of them.
Yeah. I can tell you. I can recall the name. They were in took place in Australia, early 1900s. Yeah, and I think the family it was a family of boys, and then it was the one girl, and she was really young. I forgot her name. But he was the pastor, and so he watched her grow up. He was there. He was always on Drogheda because that was the name of the land. They were in Drogheda. Drogheda. And so they were sheep farmers, if you want to call it that, but they were well off. And so all the young guys, the brothers, they were older than her, so she was the youngest. The daughter was the youngest. And so when he came to the country, and he would come and he would have pray with the family. He got to know all the brothers, the mother, just the whole family. And then he just kind of, I guess they just kind of took an attachment to him. So over the years, he just watched her grow into a young woman, and eventually she ended up developing feelings, but then he developed feelings for her as well. So it was always a struggle they had between him, he always said his love for God, and then him loving her, and he would never choose leaving God over her. Hey, Pamela Guzman says, say hi. I'm gonna say hi to Pam. And so for years they went back and forth. They would kiss and have a little romance. She would go off and went off and got married and and she had two sons. Strangely enough, she ended up getting pregnant because he left the church for a while. He did, and and then they got together for a summer. They had like what you call a hot summer. So they had a hot summer romance.
And she wanted the
And
pregnant
she ended
woman.
up pregnant. And then years later, I believe their son drowned. Their son ended up drowning.
Oh.
And then as she became angry and bitter, she was mad at God because she thought God had taken. She could never have him as her true love. And then their son ended up dying. So you have to watch it. If you never watched the Thornbirds, the miniseries, check it out. You guys can go on like Netflix or whatever and watch it. Really cool. Really good. So that's how I loved him in Shogun. But then when the Thornbirds came along, then because I think I was in like junior high school, and I think Shogun we had to watch it for school. That's how I ended up watching it. And then because I think the Thornbirds came out in '86 or '84, 1984, one of the two. But so rest in peace, Richard Chamberlain. Really, really talented actor. Really talented. But I haven't seen him in years. So yeah, he was 90 years. 90. Who was that? Gene Hackman was what, 80 something or almost 90?
Gene Hackman was 95.
Gene Hackman was 95. Woo. Okay. All righty then. Okay. Well,
If I remember her.
listen. May we all live so long. Okay.
Yeah, Gene Hackman was
Gene Hackman was 95.
90 something. Yeah, 95.
And what? It was a movie of his that just came on last night. What was it? What was his movie? I don't know.
But the kids fighting, I guess he didn't leave them nothing.
Well, he put on. I thought he left it to the wife, right?
Yeah, he put on the trust to the wife. But
Right.
they still ain't got nothing.
Because he thought that he was going to that she was going to outlive him, and then maybe she would have done the right thing and then divided the money up, amicably. But that didn't happen because she actually died first.
She died before him.
Right, and then like in the hospital with her body for like 7 days.
Yeah. And because he had advanced like dementia, Alzheimer's, he didn't even know what was happening.
That had to be really scary for him. Just walking in there and then seeing her laying on the floor and her pill bottles on the floor, and not being able to, and then not even trying, put together connect the dots that he needs to call 911.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was the housekeeper of theirs that came in, and that's when she found him.
Mm-hmm.
So they only must have the housekeeper like maybe a couple of days out of the week or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. It took every time news kept coming, I kept saying this is really weird. Because at first I thought maybe that she had killed him and then killed herself, but that wasn't it.
But then they said too that they said like a week before somebody was following them, so it's a lot to that story.
Oh wow. Okay then. Well, and Clint Eastwood is 90 plus. So all these Hollywood old timers. I hate to use that word because that's really not a nice word. But let me see. Legends. Let's go out there. Hollywood legends.
Yeah, but y'all was wrong to do Clint Eastwood like that. Put that picture out there of him.
Well, he posed for it, so that's what you want me to tell you. And then when we were talking about Hollywood, we want to say A-listers. Let me just throw this one on out there. So over the weekend, Will was a street 55th and something in Philadelphia.
Was named Will Smith.
Was named Will Smith Avenue, Will Smith Way or something. Will Smith Way, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Will Smith Way. So Will got a street named after him. And so he was out there. His mom was there with him. So he was celebrating and all that. So congratulations to Will. Sometimes it's good to get those honors while you're still here.
I would say as much. Do Will seem happier now that he's around Jada?
Will seems like
liberated.
I don't know if is that the right word. He seems tolerable. That's the word. Because when he's with Jada, there's nothing tolerable about Will. Because I want to literally slap her down.
Uh-uh.
I have never. I do. She just irks every fiber of my being. Just, ugh. So Will seems more level-headed. He seems a little more cool. Hey, Dr. Fight. Is he on?
I don't hear him.
Yeah.
He may not be trying to talk too much.
Where is he? Oh, he's gymnastics.
Uh-huh.
You said a gymnastics, huh?
No, I'm at the gym. My son's basketball practice. He on another team now. His practice is at Monday, and they they're not looking too good right now. So
he do got that face like a distress.
It's practice though.
Yeah, but practice is to improve.
Well, it's okay. So anyway, congratulations to Will on his
Honor.
Yeah, Will Smith way. So if you don't, I'm happy for Will. Hey y'all on TikTok, appreciate you. Okay, who else? Dr. Fine, I got a special one for you tonight. I got a special one for you tonight, but I'm waiting to say someone finish mine up, then I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna say, here you go. But
Well,
hold
come
on,
on. What's up? What you got for me?
it ain't yet, but I got it for you. Hold on.
He should know because it's been circling
Uh,
forever.
it ain't yet. What's my other one?
Oh, you want
You
me to
say what?
Yeah. Now this story.
Now
This is
you are
Roland.
about to see
Okay,
with your own.
Okay.
I gotta show y'all what is this outfit Roland got on. First of all,
Roland don't particularly
Roland don't
care.
care what he look, but sometimes you know. But let me talk to you guys a little bit first. So over the weekend, I was busy. I said it was an interesting weekend just because I had a notification that one of my posts that I put up on Threads had hit 25,000 views. I was like, eh? So, and if you haven't seen the post, you can go on Threads and find it, or you can go on TikTok because I posted that same thread on TikTok, which I think has reached almost like 400 people right now, whatever. But anyway, the post that I put because I was so frustrated with people getting on social media because we have the April hands off rally, that's nationwide, global, people from other countries are joining in, all these things like that. So people were going on social media and saying, we as black folks, we should sit this out. We shouldn't go out there. You shouldn't protest or do whatever. And I wrote on the post. I said I completely disagree with that. Now you're free to do whatever it is whatever it is you want to do or don't want to do. But I don't think you have any right to go on and encourage other people not to actively participate. However that is, if that's them going out and joining other people, or if they're on social media, whatever it is, for you to sit back and say, oh, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to binge on one of my favorite movies, or I'm going to go out shopping, or whatever it is, you do you. So I put on there. I thought it was very irresponsible. I think it's disrespectful to the ancestors who fought, who were beaten, who were lynched, who did all that, for you to sit back and just be so cavalier about what's coming up on April 5th. And so, people coming on there, they're like, oh yeah, I disagree with you. And some were like, oh, I disagree with you. We shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be going out there on the front line. You should be so and so. First of all, don't tell me what to do. And I made that abundantly clear. And I said, learn your history. I did my job. I did my duty on November 5th. If I hear that one more damn time from black people or anybody, if I hear that one more time, I'm literally gonna reach to my screen and choke the hell out of it. Just want to be clear.
You want me to play the video now?
Yeah, but I mean, okay. So let's go to Martin. Let's go to Roland Martin. Before I go back on my rant.
With your own eyes, every single Generation Alpha, Generation Z, Millennial, Generation X, what it looks like to live close to Jim Crow. Now I know some of y'all are saying, Roland, this ain't Jim Crow because I can go to the club with a white woman. This ain't Jim Crow because I can go out and we can go here and I can use this water fountain. I can use this bathroom and I can go here. But you need to understand, and I'm telling you right now, mark it down, 7:40 p.m. Eastern on January 23rd. A year from now, you are going to see a dramatic drop in the number of contracts that black businesses have gotten from the federal government. You are going to see a year from now a dramatic drop in the contracts that black-owned businesses will receive from corporate America and from state governments and from county governments and city governments and school districts. You are about to see an economic calamity come down in black America because too many of us sat our asses on the couch, chose not to vote because we said, well, if I don't get nothing before I vote, then I'm not going to vote. Now you are witnessing with your very eyes what happened.
There you go. So, and that's kind of like the stuff that I was getting over the weekend, and they want to tell me, oh, the 92% of us this and 82% of us so and so. First of all, you can't speak for every black person, which is what I said in the thing. Stop thinking you can speak for every black person. Whatever you choose to do, that's you. That's you. You can't speak for all black women, and you can't speak for all black men. Be you one or the other. So, needs to say, and brother, did I show it to you? I said, what is this? I thought it was like, maybe like at 2,000. I was like, oh, nothing hit 25,000. Oh, okay. And then today I got another notification said it's hit an additional 500. Okay, whatever. So obviously I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I was like, wow, I thought I was seeing things, but yeah, I've been going. Some I respond to, and then others I don't because then I get into this back and forth with some people, and it works on my nerve. And so I told this one, she said, well, you gonna do a thing, and you gonna risk your. First of all, you don't know what I'm going to do. You haven't even asked me. You just assume that I'm going to be out there. But whether I'm out there or not, I'm still going to be doing my part, my effort on Friday. And so I'm just not going to sit back and watch my movies or binge on some nonsense because that's not what you're doing. I can't do that. When I'm thinking about my ancestors, I think about people like my grandmother, my grandmother's mother, all their siblings, who dealt with Jim Crow laws and being in slavery and things like that nature. So that's disrespectful to them, to their sacrifice. For us to just to sit back and say, "Oh no, it's because you were born and you're selfish and you're spoiled and you had it easy." That's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Doc fight, he walking. I think he had to come out. He said, "I got to tell, I got to get y'all."
Oh, let's go ahead and call a spade a spade.
Uh-oh.
I
Come on.
I I agree with Roland from the standpoint that folks stayed home and sat on the couch and didn't go vote. I agree with that. I
Mm-hmm.
disagree with the assertion or assessment that those individuals that stayed home were Generation X, Millennials, and Gen Zs. Statistics show that a lot of people stayed home from every generation. It,
But
it
I think,
ain't
but
it
he
ain't
named all the generations, right?
No, he stopped at X. He didn't go back further. He stopped at X.
he ain't talking about no baby boomers. He ain't
Yeah, no,
talking
he talking
about
about none of that.
and
The
most of the
silent
baby boomers own businesses.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Us millennials out here struggling. We don't own nothing. We
Hello.
barely own our telephones. We renting that from the telephone company. What you talking about? You blame us. Look, we everybody got something to blame in this.
There you go.
You know, Donald Duck, I mean, is out here hurting everybody.
He said
White
Donald Duck.
folk, black folk, Asian folk, Hispanic folk.
But don't you and because you're saying that, don't you think that that's wise that everybody gets out there if you can go out there and participate, it shouldn't be just it just shouldn't be white people's problem, black folks' problem. It should be a problem because we're all standing against as you call him, Donald Duck and his economic disaster, right? His plan.
Oh yeah, before you continue,
Okay.
let me just go because this for people. So the POS that's in the office,
Piece of shit. We don't want to say that.
2 months. He been there 2 months. Gas. I passed the gas that was coming in. Past the gas station. Gas is $3.45. You hear me? $3. Been there 2 months with these stupid tariffs, and now look at everything going up.
Yeah,
Right, and all you people that now you want to talk about, he's not worried about the economy. Was he ever worried about the economy?
Right. That was it. Did he ever? Yeah.
Did he ever say anything about the economy? He just came out last month and told them don't effing talk to him about the air prices. That came from his mouth.
This is what I don't get.
So I'm just trying to figure out where in your concept of thinking did he tell you he was gonna fix the economy?
Yep.
He used the economy that Barack Obama left him for 18 months. And as soon as he got done with that 18 months, it bottomed out.
Yep.
It bottomed out.
Yep.
So please spare me the whole he's gonna fix the economy. He can't fix his business.
Not when they've been bankrupt. He's been bankrupt multiple times.
Right. He can't fix himself. How the hell he gonna fix a government?
This is what I said when people talk about that, and I said, what did you hear when he spoke that I didn't hear? What do you know about him that you should have known? You should have known he's a horrible businessman. He's one of those nepo babies y'all want to call him, that your daddy left you millions of dollars. He blew through that. He blew through that. Then he lied and got money from the banking from the bank institutions that he never paid back. Then he went over. Then he went to over in China and he brought money from them. And what in his history, the multiple bankruptcies, the fact that he left all kind of contracts without paying them. What in his history told you that he was going to be able to fix the economy when he blew the deficit the first time he was in office?
It was the shame part of this.
So what the hell about history told you anything different?
As much of an idiot as George Jr. was, even he didn't blow the deficit as high as Donald Trump.
And that's the truth, and I thought George Jr. was a disgrace. He was damn near a genius compared to this fool.
No, he's still an idiot.
Yeah, but compared to this fool, George Jr. is a genius.
Right, you got the lowest moment in history
when he got the shit on his head.
Yeah, both of them.
No. This here is a global national embarrassment. As I was going through my social media, France, a message from France to the United States. There were people holding signs that said, "We're with you, we love you, we so and so." All the people around, they know what a hot mess this is. And I don't even like to use this word, but I've been using it every day like it's a waterfall. It is 70 million stupid, and I mean stupid with a capital S, capital T, capital U, capital I, capital D, explanation point, boom, 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 boom. You all are some stupid A people. That's all I can say. And if you just there's no other word. I can't clean it up. I can make you sound like, oh well, they didn't know. No, you knew. The problem is you're so full of hate, is that you chose to turn a blind eye to the rapist, the thief, and the criminal, and you chose to elect that because you hated the fact that Barack Obama had sat in that White House for 8 years and he did a damn good job. He wasn't perfect, but he did a good job. So that's what's wrong with you. You turn a blind eye to all that man has done.
And I will say this much: if anybody again repeats that 77 million is half the country, I'm going to
clarify one more time for you.
I am going to scream at the top of my lungs, and I can't even scream that loud, but I am going to scream. 77 million is not half the country. That is
Who said that?
The country.
Dr. Faison, say it again.
77 million people is not half the country. That is a quarter of the country.
First of all, let's get this straight.
There's
a little more
people voted in the election.
There's a little more than 300 million adults. Adults. That's not total people. That's adult in America. The United States, 50 states. There's a little more than 350 million people.
Okay.
And so 77 times 2 ain't even half of that. So how you 77? What? See, that's the problem. That's the problem. White folk think they the only people in the world. They think they the only people. That's how they drive. That's how they shop. That's how they live. I was in the store the other day. That white lady just walked right up. Like, was all up on my back and reaching over. I said, ma'am, I'm standing here. Like, I'm a 6'4" black man. I know you see me. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you? Bitch, I'm right here. Do you not see? I know you see me. You see me. See you. See me standing right here.
But you know what, Dr. Fight is not kidding, because you at the store, they just walk in front of you like, am I not standing here? Did I turn invisible?
And that's where that statement come from. See, I was in there sitting next to white folk. I couldn't say what I wanted. I had to come out here, say what I want to say, because I don't want them messing with my son when I'm talking about these white people out here. But anyway, look, this where that statement come from. 77 million is probably half, maybe a little less than half of the white population.
Okay.
That's where they probably get that from.
Mm-hmm.
But you had some other folk voted for you. Now, that's the thing. I want to interview these coons that voted for for Agent Orange. Like I don't understand how you call yourself black or Hispanic and
Yes.
you feel like you made you a good choice
Yes.
currently.
Yes.
I mean, they
I,
laying off people left and right from the federal government. I mean, like, you used to go work for the federal government in a recession and still be good. Like that job, once you get a federal job, you
yeah.
there for 30 years.
Right.
Like, there ain't no turnover.
Right.
Nowadays, you
Yep.
got a federal government job, you might as well put your resume out there. I mean, I'm saying, like, you got a job today, ain't guaranteed tomorrow. Like, you
Yep.
really can't turn up on a Tuesday with a federal job no more. You got to save your money. You can't just be out here buying bottles and putting putting that stripper through college. Like you can't be doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? Federal government ain't a sure job. It's a
Mhm.
shame when a used car salesman got more job safety than federal employee.
That is a shame. That is a shame.
Hell, where I'm working, I got more job security than
That
they
is a
do.
shame. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, Brianna, I sent you a text or something that I was wanting to. I don't know if you're able to show it. It's on uh Twitter. I probably could find it somewhere else, but somebody that's where they sent it to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
'Cause
got you. Hold on.
yeah. So apparently, when we talk about these things, and I go out and make a post, apparently people are liking it because I about fell off. I said, really? I used to get a couple hundred, but I don't ever get 25,000. I told Brian, I said, I'm reading that right. So I was very proud of what we do here, Dr. Fight. What else I got? So I just want Brandon to keep clarifying that to people
I am
about that
so
77 million because
I
I'm
am
so sick and tired
so
of hearing
sick of
about that.
hearing that.
But they want to say, well, half the country. No, it's not half the country. You
Where
people, you
did
people can't add, multiply, subtract, divide. Where's the math skills?
I used
But these are the same people that went in the booth
I,
and voted for the tangerine tarantula.
I used to try to say some of them were like above average.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
lowered my standards.
yeah.
Forget
I
that.
used to try to say that he's mediocre. No, this dude, they are below mediocrity. These are just I can't even say. I wouldn't even say special education because special ed people they come a long way. So I can't even say that. These are just some ignorant, just stupid people. And and
Listen,
and for, and for the white folks, you all think you all are so brilliant. I feel sorry for you because your stupidity is on full display. And I can't say not all of you, but the ones who voted for Donald Trump. I'm talking directly to you,
I
directly to
need
you.
prayer.
I'm
I
talking to
need
you.
prayer. I need
What's wrong?
prayer. Cause,
That's the
cause
doctor.
listen, I need prayer because I got a gentleman that's on my security team and he got a Donald Trump bumper sticker
Oh,
Oh
ouch!
God.
at the church. And
Oh, yeah.
when I saw it, I said, "Ain't that such and such car?" It was like, "Yeah." So I talked to the head of my security team, and I'm ready to fire
Oh, and I was going to say, why you ain't fired him yet? I was going to ask you that question.
him. But HR said I can't fire him for his political views. I said I ain't say I was firing him for his political views. They said, "Well,
Right.
what has he done to warrant his firing?" I said, "Ain't South Carolina an at-will employment state? Like, I don't have to
Oh,
have a reason. Like, I just feel like it ain't working out, and we can find something else for you to do." Like, I got a fundamental problem with him. Now, granted, I hate to say, matter of fact, I don't know if I should say this or not. You know what? I'm gonna say it. The elevator don't go all the way to the top anyway with him. So I'm not surprised he voted for Donald Trump. He really ain't the brightest. Like he ain't winning no spelling bees or no knowledge bowls.
oh, so,
No,
so
he ain't
it's
on
kind
no
of expected
debate
that he would
team.
be Uncle Tom. It's kind of expected that he would be Uncle Tom.
I mean, I just think that the people that vote for Donald Trump are not as intelligent as
Dr. Brown,
one would.
why are you trying to be all politically correct? No, they're ignorant.
I mean, but tomato, tomato, they are not like the best and brightest that the country has to offer.
That's the one
And
you.
you know what 77 million says to me? We got an education problem.
and
Like
and
we are grievously behind other countries. We
and
the only country that will make the dumbest person the president of the United
and and,
States.
Yes,
and
yes.
here's the thing. That idiot is the same one now. He wants to dismantle the education department.
That's
Ain't that
because he
an
need
oxymoron?
people to keep being dumb. See how what happened? See, listen. In every species on the planet, the strongest is the leader. Even in the lion kingdom, when the lion, it's the strongest lion that's at the head of the pride. It's like that in just about every species. However,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to us,
Mm-hmm.
we put the weakest in the
Yep.
front.
Yep. 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 And he
Right.
is the weakest. He,
And I,
The weakest, the stupidest. I mean,
yeah.
what else?
Yeah.
people been asking me, have you heard this from Dutch? Have you seen this from Dutch? I'm not even surprised anymore on some of the stuff I hear and stuff that people be telling me. I'm no longer surprised. I am no longer surprised because when you got Dodo one and Doo two at the helm of the country, you can't expect intelligence. Like you should expect Dodo and Doodoo. And that's what we get every
And you
single
get
day.
and you got Luther the Lush. What's it called?
Heck says.
Heck said. So there you go.
Because now his wife has to be in all the briefings to take notes because he drunk. But you were warned. He was at Alcohol Anonymous. This man was going to AA meetings. And
Did
they're like,
you say his wife got to come to? Okay, matter of fact, let me rewind a little bit. Is it true that Donald Trump removed the security clearance for Joe Biden,
Yep.
Kamala
Yep. Yep.
Harris,
Yep.
Hillary Clinton,
Yep.
yep,
Barack Obama?
Yep. Yep.
yep.
Now, what they do to you?
Because they revoked it from him when they got in office. So he did tit for tat. He's a child.
Yeah.
Well, he deserves
He
his to be
deserved his
revoked.
right because he had classified documents.
Right,
Yeah, he
right,
deserved that.
right.
Yep.
But it's a tit for tat. He's a toddler. I can't, and that's an insult to my baby. Because my baby's
He's
a toddler, but
stupid.
my baby got more sense than him. That is ridiculous.
He is
There is an
stupid.
overgrown toddler in the White House.
Who
He
who
is
who,
stupid.
who throws a tantrum and
Whenever
then,
he don't get his
right,
way.
and they all someone asking me this question. This is a legitimate question, and that's what I put in the post too. And people said, I said, they're afraid of Donald Trump. What Donald Trump is going to do? I said, what are you afraid of? He's just a man. He's mediocre at best, and I'm giving him credit for being mediocre. He's just a man. All he do is bark. Let any let any man step up to him and threaten him. And what are he going to do? He's going to fall like a chief said a sheep. I mean, he's a punk. What are you all afraid of? Because he thought, because he
all bark.
pills.
All bark.
I mean, I don't understand. You all are grown people, but you know what? He will never go toe to toe with. He will never take with black women. Never, because he knows. He knows.
You already know.
Now apparently he can buy some of the black men, but they ain't really black anyway. So when he buy them, so we just that's a non-starter right there.
I just want to all the ones that run and supporting him, the Tim Scotts, the Byron Donalds, all you the Snoop Dogg, Nelly's, all you all out, all you all the Byron Donalds, all you all thinking, oh, he's gonna give me a position in his cabinet. Guess what? He took an Indian before he took you.
Cabinet.
He took an Indian
Cabinet.
before he took you, and you're down there looking stupid, talking about, oh, I'll run for Florida.
I pray and hope I pray and hope you're not telling the truth. They could not have believed he was gonna get in a position.
No. We're talking about Byron Donalds. This is a man that said Jim Crow was good for black people.
There you go.
You know what he thinks.
They must mean the kitchen cabinet.
And whoever your mama is should disown you for saying that.
They must mean the medicine cabinet.
They really believed if they lived his shoes long enough, that he was going to put them in a position in one of those kind of positions. You and still to this very day, that's what I'm not understanding. To this very day, you are they're still so back at Donald Trump. To this very day, why? Why? I still don't understand it. So all I can say to people is that, yeah, you stupid. I can't use another word. I try to use another word. I have a pretty good vocabulary, but I cannot find another word that suits these people and say, you stupid. That's when people say, well, you should be able to talk to somebody who that voted for Donald Trump. I said, I can't. I said, because I feel like I have a little bit of intellect, and my intellect don't go that damn low. So we can't have zero conversation. Zero. I cannot. You cannot sit across from me and explain anything about a man who daddy gave him millions of dollars. He blew through all of that. A man who lost business after business after business. Then became a pitch man for Wendy's and Pizza Hut. And then only got more money when the man from Survivor came and offered him a TV show. So what you gonna tell me about? We can't have zero. Don't tell he a good businessman. You can't say anything to me about his business acumen. Zero.
Is it time to change the subject? My head's
Yes,
starting to hurt.
yes,
Too much
yes.
Donald Trump mean my
Dr. Fight, wait,
IQ is lower.
Dr. Fight, I say this story especially for you.
So is this
Okay, as long as my IQ is important to me, and the more we keep talking about Donald Trump, I feel
Well,
stupider
I'm
and
gonna get
stupider. I
this. What
feel
I say
like I
to
need to
you.
just go to the bank, get all my money out, throw it to a girl named Cinnamon, and then go buy Budweiser. And
the girl named Cinnamon?
Not cinnamon, not cinnamon.
Okay, I will go to because it is.
I'm never gonna pass my limit.
I'm like Dr. Fight. My intelligence level is starting to be this.
But this one is for Dr. Fight because I said it's not up for me to speak on this one. Although I'm gonna have my say, but
Y'all, people are pissed off with Marvin Sapp, and I'm going to tell you why. So recently, Pastor Marvin Sapp had his ushers close the door, and he was demanding that his congregation sow the tithe of 40K. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, sow the tithe means give an offering. Even though it's not really an offering if you demand that the people do it. It's more of like a tax. Or if you're really forcing them and you're closing the door, then it's more like a stick up. But let's just pretend like it's an offering. So this pastor, this brother decided that he was not going to let his congregation go until they gave a $40,000 seed. The numbers were there was 1,000 people in the congregation and there was 1,000 people watching online. So he was challenging his congregation to give $20 each. Now, normally I would just let this kind of foolishness go, but there seems to be foolishness afoot. Because if you didn't know, Pastor Paula White recently said that if you give $1,000 before Easter, you'll get a special blessing. Tim, I'm not going to mince words. This is garbage. This is hot trash, and this is exploitation. This is why people look at Christians and they're like, you guys are crazy. I don't want to have anything to do with this. And I get it. I understand. I don't want to have anything to do with this either. This is nothing more than greed. Sir, pastor, if the church needs more money, I suggest you start with your closet. I suggest you start with your watch collection. I suggest you start with the shoes you're wearing. And you all will have to forgive me, but this really pisses me off. Because people think that this is what church is. They think that these are who Christians are. They're not. I promise you, we are all looking at them like they are foolish. And so that's why people are pissed. And that's why I'm.
Okay, that was cool.
Dr. Fight, I'm gonna let you have this. Do you know the story, Dr. Fight?
oh, when Marvin sat getting up there and telling the people close
Yeah.
the doors, you
Mm-hmm.
got 1,000 people online, gonna
Yeah.
give them $20, and you
Yeah.
got some people in. Yeah, I know the
So
story.
what did you find? Because I said that was a different video, but the one that I saw is that he was literally directing the ushers to close the door, and you could tell they were looking at him. He said, "Now close the doors, close the doors,
And lock them.
and lock him." Until he got $40. Was it $40 or $20 from
$20
each person down,
for a $40,000 donation.
and then 1,000 people online send him $20. What? I said, has the man did he have a nervous breakdown? What was going on here?
No, the first part is I'm getting up and walking out.
Right, I'm saying call 911.
You can't go nowhere. The door's closed.
I'm calling 911 and telling them when I get to the door better be open.
This
I'm
east
calling
side High Baptist
911.
Church.
Okay, Dr. Spice, so I'm gonna let you. So what you feel about this whole thing? Because I was just like, wow, Marvin didn't have nervous breakdown.
So
All right. I've been given an education for the last week. This video done been out. So I guess I need to do the same speech here tonight.
Yes,
So
you do.
first of all, this is common practice from biblical times all the way up to now. Setting a standard in offering is biblical practice. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a little Bible study. In Malachi, when we get the idea of 10%, pay 10%, that
Mhm.
came from setting a standard. What it was is the offering was given through animals. So how God blessed you, you would take 10%, you would take some of that blessing and bring it to the synagogue as an offering unto the Lord for his so if you were blessed with lamb, you would bring lamb. If you were blessed with, cattle, you bring a cow. That's because that was the common practice. The problem back in Malachi's time was people didn't honor God with a full sacrifice. What they were doing is like just say they had like four sheep that were born and one was deformed in some way. What they said was, I can't use this deformed sheep, so I'll bring the deformed sheep. So Malachi the prophet responded to say, if you, as a standard, can at least bring 10%, which is the standard of your sacrifice that you should bring, then you ought not do anything at all. So setting a standard in offering, that's biblical. Saying $20, 25, $100, whatever, that's biblical. So before somebody say, oh, well, you can't tell me what to do, they have a misconception of what offering means. You have different types of offering. You have a free will offering. That's what everybody loves. Let me decide what I give, because that's a free will offering. You then have sacrificial offerings. That's a standard by which that you set. It's a sacrifice that you're going above and beyond what you're capable of doing. And then you have a seed offering. These are offerings by which you say, there is something that we're planning to do in the future, and I'm putting a seed down in the ground to see that it germinates and that it grows. Now, the problem that I have with Bishop Sapp is that he told him to close the doors. Now, that's a little too far. Now, the whole
That's my
offering and the
problem.
asking part, I'm good with that. I'm not good with the part where he became Joe Clark and turned this into Eastside High Ministries. Like, I really have a problem with him putting them chains on them doors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they arrested Joe Clark in the movie. He didn't think that he was gonna be with entanglement charges or something.
Yeah, right.
Like,
And
you
you ain't
locking
you
people
better not
in,
get my
that's a
money.
fire hazard. You can't lock folk in. Bishop Marvin. Well, actually, let me just say this. He issued a response and did admit that the closing of the doors part was a little much and a little harsh.
a
So he
little,
admitted to that.
a
He
little.
admitted. And he admitted to, he wrote a little, and he also said with the same intensity people been sharing the clip, he wants them to share his response with the same energy as well. And so that's why I'm giving it some time, because I just got finished talking about the video. Now I'm gonna talk about his response. I'm giving it the same energy. Mr. Bishop Marvin Sapp. I love Marvin Sapp, by the way. I just want to say I think he's a phenomenal artist. I think he's contributed to gospel music over the last 20,
I
25 years.
agree.
Has been fantastic, phenomenal music that he has given to us. We've all been worshiping. I mean, he saw the best in me. Was even on the radio, the R&B stations.
Yeah, that
Like
was my
we
son. That was
everybody,
William.
he was the R. Kelly of his time. I Believe I Can Fly was on gospel stations. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pied Piper was on gospel stations. And Marvin Sapp was on R&B stations doing. He crossed over and was doing that. That was a hit. But Marvin, come on, man. Like close them doors. Come on, bro. Yeah, you only close the door when it's time to pray. Something solemn like invitation to Christian discipleship and people get saved. You don't want people
Uh-huh.
walking during that time. Like all that's okay to make sure that you talk, make sure that, but that's done in private with the ushers. You know what I'm saying? You tell the usher these the times you gonna open and close the doors. You know what I mean? Like before I pray, typically if I see people in the vestibule, I tell the ushers let them in because everybody needs some prayer. Yeah, I'll wait for them to come on in, find you a seat. It's been packed up in church here lately. So, you know, if you late trying to get 3 and 4 in a seat, that ain't gonna happen. One, you're gonna have to sit over here and another one gonna have to sit over there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to sit together because folk don't like to scooch over. And women, when did y'all purse get a seat? Like, I'm trying to figure this out. That ain't a human. You better leave that in the
That
car.
that keeps you from getting all up on me. I'm not gonna
Well,
sit there
listen,
I'm not
I
gonna
ain't
sit there on
got
the
no
seat with
more
my
room. So y'all gotta love each other while you're in here. You want to
you
scoot
know,
over some.
then,
Tell that Louis
then find me a
Fendi
chair and I'll sit put
catch.
my chair next to the pew and I sit in the chair. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. When we go, it be me and Brown and
Tell
Brent, and
Mickey
I have my bag.
Corby.
Brent got a bag. That means I got a spot. My bag got a spot. Brent got a spot. Brown got a spot. And her bag is on the side.
Yeah, we go to church. We take up a whole
Yeah,
pew
and we leave a little bit on the end.
because
You
it's
can't
my
take up no
bag.
whole pew. That ain't
Because
holy.
I am not sitting there holding my bag. While I'm in there, because then Brent go on. Can I have to pick up
Leave
my
that
bag?
bag. What's in that bag? What you got some
Oh,
snacks in there?
I have my Bible. I have some candy. I have all kind of goodies in the bag. My
All
glasses.
kind of goodies.
I
That's
have
the
my
problem.
glasses.
Y'all in church too long if you need to pack goodies. That's the problem. You don't need to
All
pack no goodies
all I
when you
really
go
have
to
in here
church.
is
You just
I have some
need
candy for
you
the
need your
baby.
shouting shoes
Mm-mm.
and
Or
and your
I may
Bible.
need,
That's
yeah, I
it.
may need some different
Well,
pair of
you
shoes.
need your wallet. You need to give because that's why we talking about this conversation right
Right.
now because folk don't want to give.
I have a bigger bag, and then I have my smaller purse inside the bag, and then I have all the other stuff. My Bible, I have all other stuff.
I will say
Too
this much:
much.
her bag is bigger than mine going to church. I will say
I
that.
have all kinds of stuff in the bag.
Yeah, you
Like
got too much.
I still have space on the end, and then on the opposite side of me, it's like her bag, the baby bag, the jacket. I'm like, what is all this stuff?
Because you never know what
Lord have
your
mercy.
child gonna need when you're there. And you want to keep the child entertained and quiet. So you
And
got to come loaded down with certain items. Just in
Burn
case.
like
Jesus done turned on the water, boy. You taking a shower or something up there? Good God, from Zion, all this rain today.
So, Doctor, I agree with the fact that I don't disagree with him asking for the money.
I didn't have
I
an
agree
issue
with you with the door
locking of the
because
door.
it's like you forcing me to do something. So first of all, like I said,
Yeah, lock it, and he just as calm. Lock the door.
and then repeat again, yeah,
Usher, and then the usher look
Lock the door.
lock
lock
the
the
doors. I said lock the doors. Oh,
and any usher on the door can said if somebody get up and charge me at the door, I'm just gonna move to the side. And I would agree with them. I'm stepping to the side. I'm not getting into any kind of entanglement because the pastor lost a couple of his marbles that I'm going to tackle you. You know, if you just have a seat. No, no. Marvin did lost some of his marbles, and I'm getting up out of here. I'm gonna say
I
I would
bet you
agree.
he raised that money.
I bet you I'd have called 911 and said I'm being held hostage in this church. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I mean he won't let us out of here. Yeah, something wrong with the pastor up in here. I got to go.
You
Yeah.
know, I was at an afternoon, a fifth Sunday fellowship this yesterday, and they asked me to raise the offering, and I got up there and I said, "Y'all don't be alarmed. I'm not gonna ask the ushers to lock the doors." And everybody bust out laughing.
Cause that was a good one, Doctor Man. That was a good one. Yeah, yeah. How you tell people to lock the door? So you know what? Like I said, I love his music. But when Brianna first said, I said Marvin. I said not Pastor Sat, not him. And then when I watched the video of him legitimately asking, I said, oh, he looked like someone right in his face. Someone right in the face.
Yeah.
That's all.
I should have
I
known
want to
that's
say.
what you was gonna bring to my attention. I thought it was gonna be something else.
Well, I didn't feel like I said since you Doctor passed the fight. I figured out some of that Doctor Fight deal. To God said, I just don't. Maybe you know, I'm not the right person to really speak on that. But I just can say I don't want to be like. I don't want to be locked in. So yeah, I think that was a wee bit too far. Now, Doctor,
Mm.
you can carry on with your chaos. What you got for us to say? Oh, you got it. You said it already.
I said to Brianna, I want both of y'all chime in on this here.
Okay, we had a black fight ready for his. He said he sent it to you already.
Oh, I got it.
Let's go. This
I had to send it to an email.
you all are joining us. Dr. Fight is clarity in the chaos. I always say I always find the chaos. I'll never find too much of the clarity, and it just be chaotic. But let's see what he has for us this evening.
Oh,
Question.
Bree, L, you gonna like this?
God. When he said that, I get real. Anytime he said my life, I get real scared.
You probably
You
will
gonna,
like
you gonna like this?
What is it?
it. Share here.
Okay.
I have to play it from here.
Why do we really need one?
I've had a pretty large company even before I met you. So if we get married and then you decide to divorce me next year, then you leave with half of it, that's not fair.
But why are you already thinking about that?
Babe, it's something I have to think about. I don't know why Danny's so surprised. The prenup's obviously something that we need to have in place. I built a business long before she even came into the picture, and I have to protect that. Like, you want to get married? I'm like trying to work with you.
I don't want to be emotional. I'm just not sure if you're doing this because you don't trust me or like you're not sure about our future.
Well, I think you're overthinking it.
You don't know you like that.
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain this to you. I feel like you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I am understanding. It's not my intentions to leave you. I hope that's not your intentions.
It's not. Like, I didn't even think about that. You're the one thinking about that.
It's just the reality of what
I love you, but
makes
I
sense.
was
Like,
born during the night, but it wasn't last night.
Yeah, but it's like, this is like really, this is not how I pictured like it was gonna start.
The fake stuff right now.
there's no reason to cry.
I need like 1 second.
Oh.
Babe.
He laughed because he's like, she tripping.
Hell no. Trust you.
We ain't been together for years and years and years and built our wealth together. I'm coming in with some already with some money. You don't have anything.
Look, Eddie made that abundantly clear in the room. Hell. Nope.
Hey. Right. For some broad, I mean, some broad he just met for a little while, I ain't rolling with that.
Look, what Eddie said, you don't care if the sea roared, sparks shot out of you know well.
Hell. And no, that's why the question is no prenup. Huh?
Well, I mean, agree or disagree. And
Oh,
who
I
do you
agree with him.
agree
He
with
needs
or
prenup.
disagree?
Agree.
Or you agree with him?
I agree with him.
So,
It ain't that
so
much
that
money in the
question,
world.
that question is being asked before we get married.
Right. You better ask before we get married, because once we get married, it's gonna be too late.
You ain't gonna
You
do
late.
You can do a post nuptial, but that
No. But I'm saying we gonna do a prenup. You have to think if I spent a decade working and growing my business long before I met you, and I'm gonna just let you have free access to it with no prenup.
right. Yeah.
And then you start enjoying a certain lifestyle. Then you get beside yourself. Then you want a divorce. Now I got to pay. Now I'm sitting up there paying you spousal support for the next decade.
Because my dumb stuff should have had a prenup.
No.
Yeah, no. So I agree with the dude,
And he said I had my business long before you.
Right, and he said I love you, but I don't plan on us breaking up or leaving or anything. But I have to be smart because if you got a business, you have employees. You are employing other people, so you also have to look out for your employees' interests as well. So no, sweetheart. And see, I don't. This might be a little. I don't even know if it was the roles were reversed. If the man would really act like that, but if a man did act like that and said, "Why are you asking me for a prenup?" That would make me really question your motives. Because I said most men would be like, "Oh, okay, I signed or whatever," but we always got to be extra. Got to be extra. That's
So,
right.
so do you marry for love or do you marry for business?
Huh? Say that again. What?
Do you marry for love or do you marry for business?
Love or dating? What you say?
Do you marry for love or do you marry for business?
Love a business. Well, you know what? Love can be a business too now. Love can be a business too. I
So
mean,
so so what happened to, okay, if we married, right? That means everything is split. Marital assets is half. You share in everything. But you telling me that since I'm rich and you not, when we get married, it's my business and not yours.
that I like how you put that, but to answer, um, yes, yeah, yeah. I have money, and since I'm marrying you, you're gonna have money too, just not all of my money.
But when you get married, it's no longer mine, it's ours.
No, 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 no. See, this is what me and you always had this argument. I told you, I said, his money is our money. My money is my money. Okay? We always have this argument. I told you now. My money is my money. Your money is our money. And even when it's our money, and if you have more than, then you still may have more than me, but it's still our money. Yeah. I don't expect to have a selfish partner. I don't expect it. So if you selfish before we get married, I can just imagine you being selfish once we do get married. So I can't be with you when you're selfish. I can't do that. And I know me, when men are dating, you all are putting your best foot forward and you're giving and you doing all the right stuff. But but in 3 months here, I need you to be real. And first of all, being a woman of my age, I'm gonna talk about those things up front. We're gonna discuss those things up front. So I'm not waiting till we get married. So and if I discuss with you and say, okay, I need a prenup, because I have my child, my family, my grandkids. So guess what? We're gonna talk about that up front. And if you have a problem with that, you and I are not going to. We're not gonna work. We're not gonna work out. We ain't gonna work out because my family will always come first.
But when you get married, doesn't he become your family?
You become my family, but they was here first.
But he here now.
Yeah, but guess what? You know what? They came from my loins. Okay. Them,
Well,
them,
I
ca-
wish you would
them,
have made that statement before my son got here because he gonna be in them loins.
those come from the genes. So they come from the genes. The genes,
he
the
got
genes have to come
he got
first.
seeds.
Huh?
He got seeds. What, sunflower seed?
Then you know what? I said, did he to take care of his seeds, and I'm gonna take care of my seeds. That's how that's gonna work. Yeah.
Well,
So and I would
I,
expect him. I would expect him to take care of his seeds. Prime example. My, my mother and husband number four. And she has her children and her grandchildren, and her husband has his children and grandchildren. It's all divided like that. Pretty much, as far as I know. I don't know all the details, but pretty much. What she had came coming into the marriage is what she would leave and take care of. Same thing with him. Now, whatever he chooses to leave her or whatever, that's something separate. But I wouldn't expect him to leave anything to my sisters or myself. I'm not. We're not his children.
and
Wouldn't
what if
expect.
he does?
If he does, thank you. I mean, that's all I can say. I appreciate it. But it's not expected. We're not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, listen. th- This subject has always been, you got some people that say prenups is just business, and then some people say then don't get married. Like, if you're not willing to, and that's the thing. Like, I think what has happened over the years and over time, the courts have not handled this well, because a lot of women and men, when you have something, if they've been married to you for a year or two, they feel as though if we get divorced, I deserve half. Like, that's, no, you don't. You
No,
didn't
you
build
don't.
this business with me.
Yeah.
You didn't. That's why people, granted, I believe Juanita Jordan deserved all the money she got plus some more. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do agree with that.
Now that what's her name? Tiger Woods' ex-wife. Tiger was generous. He ripped
Elon,
up the
talking
prenup.
about Musk, not Elon,
No,
Elon.
yeah, he Tiger ripped up the prenup because he cheated and he gave her more than what was agreed upon. So,
Yeah,
he
he was
tried to
dumb.
do right by it.
Yeah, he was dumb.
He tried to do right by it. So I can see that happening because of that situation. But for her to go to court and say, well, he cheated on me, I don't think I should be held to the prenup. I deserve more.
Well,
Because no,
Dr. Fight,
you
in her
getting
defense,
divorced.
right? He cheated on a woman like 15 times.
And have
Right, so
I
you
don't
know,
care.
no. Here's the thing. That wasn't
I don't
15
care.
one night stands. He had relationships.
yeah, he had a relationship, Dr. Fight. He had a
It was 2
relationship.
years.
But that don't matter.
Six months or
That is
whatever.
not that is not, see, when you decide to get a divorce, you got to have legal precedent to determine the monies you receive. The problem that we have had is we have set a legal precedent to say just because you're rich and I'm not, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So since you're the breadwinner, you have to support the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to. But what most people have done, male and female, in divorce proceedings is try to hit them where they hurt. We've seen that here most recently. Iman Shumpert ain't signed an NBA contract in over 10 years. But his estranged wife, what's her name? Tatiana Taylor, whatever
Yeah,
her name is.
I talked to him. I think that was excessive. I really do. Yeah, that was.
She she was just trying to be vindictive and
Yeah,
trying, you don't need all that. But you
cause
fought for it and all this other stuff. That to
yeah,
me is, we got to be able to draw the line on some of this stuff. So these conversations are not as awkward because the
mhm.
ending, you trying to protect you at the end. And to me, I feel like, look, if I don't trust you, I ain't marrying you. I ain't, and I ain't gonna have no conversation about no prenup. Only because I ain't marrying you if I think you gonna want my money. If you with me because of what I have, then you ain't gonna be with me. Like that's that's just my standard. But you feel like we about to move into this and get married, but I want a prenup, and she like, well, I mean, well, you don't trust me. Like, what is this? You don't love me? And he like, this ain't about no love. Like, I built the business, and I'm not trying to. If you left me, I ain't trying to share it with you. Like, I ain't having that conversation. Just me
That
personally. Like,
that's just like, okay. Look, I don't know if you watch like HGTV, but the Tariq and Christina Musa, when they were married for about 10 years, I think. But then they grew their business together. They grew this home cooking business together. So when they divorced, he bought her out. They were equal partners in that business, but he bought her out of the business, so she got the cash instead. So I think that was fair. Now, the fact that he's remarried. So would you say that the current wife deserves half of the business that he has now? See,
but that's his decision though. That's
that is
his
his
decision.
decision,
That ain't
right?
his ex-wife's decision. She out of the deal. Like,
Right,
she done with.
right, right.
If he decides, look, I built this business with my ex-wife, I bought her out,
Uh-huh,
and I'm coming in. Now, if she says, look, I want to be a part of the business, I want to work, then okay,
uh-huh,
fine. You can work your way into the business also.
uh-huh.
But if you just thinking about, oh, since I'm married to you, I'm gonna go shopping while you go to work, and then if this don't work out, I want half of that. No, you ain't putting nothing in this. Like,
What I
I
want
built
to say
this on my own.
I can tell you, she does work. She does work in the business with him now, the flipping
Okay, and
business.
that's
So,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine. Y'all sharing that. That's great. But I mean, like, this whole thing, I got I got a company that's doing pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
and I meet somebody, and I'm just male to female. I'm being unisex here. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
even saying that one is more like, since it's a man business, and it's a woman that's signed the prenup. No, I mean, it's vice versa. Women out here build businesses too. that men shouldn't be able to just get married and then
Right.
y'all don't work out and now he in court talking about, well, Your Honor, I deserve half of the nails. My lashes she be selling and all this. No, you don't get half of my business. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
And if
but
I don't trust you, I'm not marrying you. Like you not getting my stuff.
but like example back to them. Okay, so then he married. He got the new wife. He's got another baby, and so he's got kids with the other ex wife. So should there not have been a prenup? I'm pretty sure it is a prenup because he still needs to protect his other children, his older children. So there still needs to be a prenup so that if something
But
happens to him, everything shouldn't go to the current wife and the baby and the youngest child.
but that's the thing. So I don't think integrity is something you turn on and off.
Hmm.
Like if you had enough integrity to get an assessment of the business and then legitimately buy out your ex-wife at a commensurate rate to
Uh-huh.
buy her out, then that's
Hmm.
great. You have integrity. You don't
Hmm.
stop having integrity once you marry somebody else. No, you're telling your wife like, if something happens to me, my kids are warranted X amount of dollars. Like I'm doing a will that will
Hmm.
make sure all of my children are
Right.
taken care of.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna neglect the kids we have together, and I'm not gonna neglect the kids I have with my ex-wife either. I'm gonna
Right.
take care of all of my children because they're my
Right.
children. Now, my
Hmm.
ex-wife ain't getting a dime in the
Hmm.
will, but you know what I'm saying? You'll be left with the rest. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna get everybody something. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't taking care of their mama or nothing like that. That's why I don't understand how some people just forget the fact that just because you moved on in another relationship doesn't mean that you don't have responsibilities
Right.
with
Right.
these
Right.
children.
And so many women and so many people they fight that because they say, "Well, why are you still taking care of your mother or you leaving your mom X, Y, and Z?" I would never expect a spouse of mine to say, "Well, that I would argue with the fact that you leaving your mother something." That's not something I would even do. That's your mom, and you should. So that wouldn't be up for discussion for me. I would look sideways at you if you did say, "Well, I'm not. I'm gonna leave it all to you," and then you divide up into however you see fit. I don't think that's fair either. Like you said, I think it should be documented and put in the will so that everything is dispersed properly. But I make no bones about it. When I say put it, I make it clear. Whatever I have goes to my child and my grandchild. That's period. I'm not arguing that point. We never gonna have a discussion about that. And if you can't get with that, get gone then. I'm not having no,
Get
I'm not
going.
having an argument about it.
Well, the thing is, money and the communication, the lack thereof of communication about it is a lot of the reason why relationships don't work. I
Because
mean,
people don't
you
talk about it.
that's right. I mean, and you don't have an understanding on how you're going to deal with it as you all are coming together as one. You got to talk about how you gonna take care of this and what you're gonna do with money and where you at financially. And actually I had this conversation with somebody last Thursday. Um, at what point is it a good conversation when you're dating? At what point is it to raise some questions about a person's finance?
You know what? I would say within at least if you know that this is the person that you're getting serious with, then that would be the time to have that conversation.
And it's
So
interesting you say that because you said if you, as it pertains to one half of the party. Like I might think, you know what I'm saying, I want to get exclusive. And then she might be thinking, well, I'm still dating I'm not as serious as you might be. So does it have to be a mutual consensus that yes, we are exclusively we see a future with one another
well, yeah,
and
we
we're
got to
gonna
be
work
mutual
towards
on that.
that.
Yeah, we got to be mutual on that. If we're not mutual on that, we might as well, you know, go our separate ways. Because you know me, when I just don't date. I date to marry. So that's just me.
Well,
I'm
obviously you date with a purpose. There's nothing wrong with that. But
yeah.
like the thing is, the young lady, or the couple of young ladies that we was having this discussion with at work, one of the young ladies said, "Well, I have an issue with being exclusive before we have that finance conversation, like your credit score and all that. I have an issue because what I don't want is I don't want to invest all of my heart into something that I know that if you're not financially stable, I know that's going to be a deal breaker for me.
Right, and that's why you don't jump in the sack on the first date. She has a valid point. That's why you don't do that.
So she said, before I make a decision if we're going to go steady, there's just certain things that I need to know prior to making
I
that
I agree with that.
exclusive tag onto
Yeah,
that. You know, and I heard
I
her
agree
point.
with that. I agree with that. I think the financial conversation should happen pretty early on in the meet. I really do. I
You
think it
say
should happen
pretty early on.
pretty
Yeah,
early. Because
I need some dates with you because you know you get engaged after 7 days. So like, what's pretty early on for you?
look, you know what? You're right. I'm good at like maybe like the first week, first 5 days, somewhere around there.
First week, first 5 days. Have you been out on a date yet?
Yeah. We can talk about all. See, to me, I don't have
Listen,
anything to
before I
hide.
discuss my financial situations with anybody,
Because what did you say?
we gonna be dating. We gonna been on like 4 or 5 dates
Because
already.
you saying you dating with a purpose. So if I'm dating you, so if we've gone like past the third date, obviously we know we're probably feeling each other in some way, so we can start having some more deeper conversations.
It's gonna be about 4 or 5 dates before you even know how much money I make.
Which is not a bad time frame.
It's
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm saying?
another 4 or 5 dates before you know my credit score.
Yeah, now you tripping. Now you get no.
Nah, ain't no tripping.
You might as well tell me all of that in one fell swoop. If you had
Nah,
if you got some issues, some credit
I ain't
some
got
credit
no
challenges,
issues.
you know.
I ain't got no credit challenges.
Right, but you need to tell me that right up front because I'm the one wasting my time.
I ain't
Yeah,
telling you nothing because see, here's the thing.
after about
Here's
four
the
or five
thing.
days, I'm gonna need you to share some information.
I'm gonna want to know some information too. And I don't think that the kind of information I'm gonna want, they're gonna be willing to share after 4 or 5 dates. So I'm not gonna be willing to share nothing that they want if I ain't getting what I want. Cause see, I ain't got nothing to hide. Look, when it come to money, you know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
make it. I go
but,
to
but
work.
but but but
Got a few jobs.
unless you share all your financial stuff in our 4 or 5 days, don't look for nothing either. If you're not
Who
sharing
ain't look,
anything,
let
you're
me tell
gonna
you
look
something.
for anything else.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. There's a lot out here that if I wanted something, we can get something. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't about that life. If you trying to be serious and you trying to move forward toward marriage, then we got to have some genuine conversations. Like to me, there's
And
some
we do it,
things.
and we do it. Us being intimate before we have them conversations will not happen. Girl, tell you.
But I'm fine. Me personally, fine with that. My thing is, look, when I wear shoes, I like to know that my feet the only feet that's been in them shoes.
Well, at your age, there's been some other shoes in there on those feet. So that's
Mm-mm.
unrealistic.
Then we and look, there's a difference. There's a difference between being gently used and 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 just used up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I might be able to cut a deal on some gently used J's, but you know, if them was your cut grass shoes and they look like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't even the original color no more. Like, nah, we can't cut no deal on that one. We can't
Stop
cut
it.
no deal on that one.
And you know what? And as long as while we're waiting to cut the deal, I'm just telling you, ain't nothing to be had. Ain't nothing to be had until it's just not.
And I'm just being honest with you. Being honest, because I'm telling you, we ain't gonna be that ain't no conversation. Cause you wanna know about credit, I wanna know a number.
Then guess what? Then you run the risk of messing up the situation. You run
Ooh,
the
but I
risk of
mean,
messing up the situation. I'm just telling you.
whatever. I don't care. That's a deal breaker for me.
And within 7 days, I need to know what your credit score is.
Okay, and within 7 days, we need to know that number.
So if you came down for us, that credit score in like 7 days, we don't really need to have anything else to talk about.
No,
You tripping?
well, I'm okay with my scope. I want to know your number, like, and I'm not talking about credit either.
Oh, you talk. I'm always proud to share my number because I don't because floozy and me those words don't go together.
Well,
Yeah, so I don't even care about that number. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
I'm gonna put your number in my formula, and that's
And
gonna
what
be
was,
the real number when I do my formula with that number.
oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a high score.
You got
Mine
a
is gonna
high
be zero.
number.
I can tell you, I don't have
This
you.
like golf. The lower the number, I just hit a rabbit.
Oh, ouch.
It was crossing the street. I wasn't gonna slam on brakes and ruin my car.
Mm. Now he just made abundantly clear that he live in the country. Just so you all know, you try to talk about a rabbit, okay?
That rabbit is in the middle of the street, dead.
You
He
better
should
roll. You better
known
roll
better.
back. You better roll back and pick up that rabbit.
I ain't picking up no rabbit. The
You better,
deer be out 10 a little later, and the buzzards will
ugh,
be there in the
ugh,
morning. That's
Yeah, he live
that'll
in the
be
country talking about
breakfast
running.
for you. Sit on your back porch and shoot you some
You know what?
roadkill.
I've never been able to eat rabbit just because I know what the rabbit look like. And everybody says it tastes like chicken, but I can't eat rabbit.
Well, that's because you season it and cook it like chicken. I mean,
I
it'll
can't eat
take
that
like
rabbit.
beef if you made it like beef too.
Dr. Fight, I think of the little bunny rabbit, the little fur things. I can't eat no rabbit. I can't do it.
You can't eat bunny rabbit.
I can't eat bunny rabbit.
I bet you if you was living out in the wilderness, anything you be hungry. That
Well,
rabbit look mighty
and that,
good
and that
when
would
you
have to be the scenario, right? I would have to be out in the jungle, probably starving and pretend like it's chicken while I'm eating that rabbit, because otherwise I can't eat that rabbit. Mm-mm.
the rabbit
My
ain't done
grandmother,
nothing.
my grandmother cooked rabbit. She's like, "Oh, it tastes really good. It looks really good." Until I was gonna get a piece, and she said, "Oh, that's rabbit." I said, "Oh, I don't want that." But it looked really good. I don't want that. She had the gravy and everything. When it looked really, really, really. But I said, "No, thank you. Can't put that on my tongue." Not all right,
You
Doctor Fight. Huh?
what? What's up?
Is that your last one for the day?
Yep.
That's your only one for the day?
Well, I mean, I got some others, but I'm not at home. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
know
can't.
you. Brian, it's y'all sports time. Come on with it. Hey, are we at the end of the end of the NCAA?
It's the final four.
Who's the final four?
I don't know. It don't matter. It
Oh,
ain't
so
nobody.
none of your teams are in the final four. That's why it don't matter.
It don't
Brianna,
matter.
who's the final four?
All the number one seeds for the men
Oh, really?
are in the
hmm
final four. And then the women are at the Elite Eight.
Why are you so far behind?
And they start
No, they always a day behind. They're
yeah.
they're playing tonight.
So okay. So let me just get. Did any of my teams last to the final four?
No.
Okay. So who
That's
are
why it
they?
don't matter. There's no parity in basketball no more.
Yeah, it's like it's
With
no
this
playoff.
NIL,
Oh, look, he got some light. Look at it. Look at the 6'4". Good Lord, he tall. Good Jesus.
So it's I mean, so you got Duke is like in the final four, Auburn.
All of the. Oh, okay.
All the number one seeds.
Oh, okay.
So that's the final four for the men.
Duke, Auburn, who else? That's only two.
Duke, Auburn, Florida, and what, Texas?
Oh.
And then for the women, you got Juju for USC. She tore her ACL. So she out for the rest of the season. So USC has made it to the Elite Eight, but they're playing UConn tonight they have Paige Beckers. This girl dropped 40 in the Sweet 16.
Ouch!
She did a 19-0 run by herself.
Wow.
By herself.
Okay now.
And they play USC, so I ain't got that much hope for USC. They ain't got Juju.
Okay. She got the torn
The torn ACL.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yep,
So no you see USC.
I mean
UCLA?
they might break off and win. I highly doubt it.
That might be a Cinderella story there.
I mean, what is it? The South Carolina, the Lady Gamecocks, they're in the Elite Eight. They're coached by Don Staley.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one that was offered the money from
Yeah.
Ilana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're in it. See, I mean, it's nothing really to write home about. It's just all like the number one team.
Okay, so when is this gonna be over? That's my big question. But before the week is out.
Well, you should know the championship games by the end of the week, and then those games are next Monday.
Oh, so games or by the weekend? They play on the weekend. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. This y'all sports got there. Y'all handle this situation.
Most of it right now is March Madness. I mean, you still got the NBA going on.
I was gonna say, what's going on with the NBA?
Nobody's really gonna pay attention to the NBA until after March Madness.
And then they're gonna start playoffs, right? Because
they're getting there. They got like what 10 games, 10 games left of the regular season.
The NBA.
Yep.
All righty.
Huh?
Look at Dr. He get him something. He's strolling through the house. Look at him. He's just strolling.
See, I mean, so it ain't really nothing. You got March Madness going on right now. So that's the big thing to that news. And then, I mean, baseball season opened back up.
Oh, we don't know what's going on.
The NFL. The NFL having their meetings.
And then the draft is coming up, the NFL draft.
I thought that happened. I didn't mention yet.
No, they had their combine already. But they got the NFL draft coming up. So you're gonna see where like Cam Ward, if he goes number 1 overall, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, you're gonna see where all them go.
Oh, that's what's called his son Shador.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh
yeah, that's right. Yeah, primetime Deion Sanders signed a 5-year, $45 million extension with Colorado.
Did he now? Well, how many million?
45.
Deion. All right. Deion bringing in the money for a college level. Collegiate level, he breaking in the dollars.
That program won 1 game last year, 2 years ago.
But he's still bringing in though. I guess it's an improvement over what they were before he got there.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, okay, well, that's why is that a burrito you eat because it look awfully good? What is it?
It's Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle. Oh, yeah, they make some big old burritos. Good. Yeah, they're huge. What's the screen bigger?
Hey, let me ask Brianna this question. So they were voting in the NFL meetings on the tush push as a play, and they were trying to ban it.
That's what the Philadelphia Eagles were using.
Right. What do you think about? Do you think they should ban certain plays?
I think it's stupid.
What's a tush push? Can we give it to?
So it's how they line up, and so they basically like push their either quarterback into the end zone. So now they're mad. So they want to. Green Bay is mad because they got beat.
Because of that?
By using the tush push. So now they want it banned. Here's the thing: you cannot ban a play just because you can't stop it. That got to do with your defense.
Well, that makes sense.
That has to do with your defense. That's not their issue.
I know, because I've been seeing that when I watch football. I've seen that all the time. So what would you replace it with?
Nothing. It would just be banned. Like how Detroit, they want to vote on not on you shouldn't be on the lower seed just because you don't win your division. So you think about it. Washington Commanders last year were 12-5. They were like the 6th seed. And the only reason why is because they didn't win their division. So what it is that they want your record should count, and that's how you get a seed. So whatever your record is, so like if you're 9-8, you should be the 7th seed. Because what it is that you'll have like a 9-8 team will get a higher seed in the home playoff game just because they won their division. But they're like the 4th seed at 9-8, and a 13-3 team is coming to play at you all because they didn't win their division. It happened.
Agreed.
It happened to Minnesota last year. Minnesota was 14-3. but they were the 5th seed, all because the Detroit Lions won the NFC North.
That's a little confusing.
No, it's not.
What's confusing to me?
If you're a double-digit win team, you should have a higher seed.
So see, I agree and disagree all at the same time. So I agree that if you win your division, you deserve to get in the playoffs.
Yes, and have a
But
higher seat, right?
I think once you determine who's in the playoffs, you should reseed based off record.
Right.
So if I win my division, I'm guaranteed, regardless of my record, I'm guaranteed a playoff spot.
Right.
But you shouldn't have a higher seed than a team that's got a better record.
Right.
Like they're guaranteed a playoff spot. However, the way the football is broken up, it's broken up in divisions. So you got the NFC North, NFC West, NFC East, NFC South, right?
Same thing in the AFC.
You same thing with the AFC, North, East, South, and West, AFC. And you have 4 teams in each division. So let's say, I'm just going to deal with the NFC, right? Let's say in one division in the NFC, the team that wins the division record is, let's say, there's 17 games, I think. So let's say that record is 14 and 3, right? They're 14 and 3. They win their division.
14-3.
This,
Division.
right. They win the division at that record. Let's say the second place team wins, let's say they're 12-5 in that division. Okay. Now, they didn't win the division because the team that had a better record, 14-3, won the division. Now, let's just say that's the NFC South. Let's go to the NFC North. In the NFC North, the winning record for the NFC North, let's say, is 9-8. In second place is 8-9. Now, since I won the division in the NFC North, my record, I'm guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. However, should I be guaranteed a better spot than in the NFC South team who came in second place, who won, let's say,
No, I don't
13
think so.
games, than the team that won their division that only won 9 games?
I don't think so. I think how you place in your first your first division, whatever then I think that should carry over until like every other game that you have to play. You see what I'm saying? So
You say the same thing Brianna's saying then.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you place you was like second seed, but then you play somebody else,
What is it?
should you still have that be in that same position? No. Well, I think you should be in the same position.
But how is that fair? A team that won more games than you is on the road coming to you, and you only won 9 games, but you're only getting a home game because you won your division.
So you shouldn't be playing a team that has one more. You shouldn't be playing a team that's won more games. Then you should be playing a team that has equal to the amount of games, in my opinion, that you've won.
Well, no.
I mean, that's how I look at it. Because that's like what's wrong there? Oh, that seems like it's an unfair advantage to the lower place team. If you happen to beat a higher place team, even though you came in sixth, it's all confusing.
It's a little tricky, but yeah. So
I just think you should wherever you are, you should maintain that until you get to your playoff run.
Yes.
Once you get to the end.
Right. So that's what they said. They're trying to ban the tush push. That's just stupid.
What they scared of somebody gonna be freaking out? I mean, what's the problem?
No, it's not that. It's just they feel like it's an unfair advantage because it's the Philadelphia Eagles. If you watch the Philadelphia Eagles, that's what they were doing with the tush push. So
they claim that gave them a better advantage, which is how they won a Super Bowl.
Right. So that's how they won games.
Oh no! From what I watched, they just had no defense. What's called it had no what's called it.
No, it's not that. It's just Green Bay is in the Phillies. That's all it is. Get a better defense and try to stop it.
Dr. Fight, I have a question for you. It's a football question. What do you think about Russell Wilson joining your Giants?
Well, I think he's good. We need a quarterback. He's a quarterback. He ain't the future, but he's short term. And
Short term, like
if we
He is
draft a
stop.
quarterback,
He is
it would
stopgap.
take the pressure off the rookie that we draft, whoever it is. It would take the pressure off in order to be able to make sure that Russell Wilson, who has years of experience in the NFL, can give the tutelage necessary to our quarterback that we draft. I'm not opposed to it. I would rather have Russell Wilson than Aaron Rodgers. So they got that part right.
Oh, so you heard have Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a nightmare. I'm sorry.
He's a franchise killer. Fine. Mm, it's so good. Oh, Senator Booker is filibustering on Congress. Mm, I don't see me.
3 years.
Yeah, Dr. Fight my little. Yeah, he did. Dr. Fight went on.
You finish it up. Okay. Well, we had a technical issue with the little boy in here. So therefore, but we've had a good show. We had a good show. Dr. Fight joined us on the road. I appreciate that. You guys have been very, very wonderful on TikTok. You guys have been giving me the whole weekend. So keep following us on social media, and I do appreciate the comments, and you guys add your your comments. But let's just kind of keep it. How can I say this? Let's keep it above stomach level. But if you go below the waistline, I'm gonna have to go below the waistline with you. Okay. So all you guys who joined us, I thank you for have a wonderful Monday. Friday is coming up. What is the hands off? It's the hands off rally. Yeah, coming up on Friday. So you guys, make sure you do your part. You do your part, and don't listen to the people who come on social media and telling you not to participate, because they have their own personal agendas. Whatever those are, it's their own, but they are not, I don't think, in the best interest of us in the United States, who are not part of that small, that 77 million that they want to call that microscopic small part of the United States. Like I said, more than half of the country didn't even freaking vote. That's the problem. But anyway, have a good evening. Dr. Fight, thank you. Peace out. We love all you guys. Thank you all for hitting me up for the 25,000 views on my post. Wow, that was a really good one. Yep. Okay.